Re Ardor, Desfenda, the Siege of Constantinople, the Fall of an Empire. Ah, Constantinople. A name so grand it practically demands to be carved in gold and shouted from a mountain. The last bastion of the Roman Empire, what was left of it. And in 1453, this ancient jewel was about to be cracked wide open by a 21-year-old Ottoman Sultan with ambition, a giant cannon, and absolutely zero chill. But let's start with this. Have you ever watched a civilization die in slow motion? It's both tragic and deeply, deeply fascinating. If you're into political collapse, last stands, and people ignoring obvious red flags for centuries, this one's for you. And if that sounds like your cup of medieval tea, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment saying bring back the Byzantines. You know, for historical justice. Now, gather round, noble viewers, for I, King Arthur is. That King Arthur shall tell you the tale of how Constantinople, the queen of cities, fell not with a whimper, but with a literal explosion. By 1453, Constantinople was, let's just say it had seen better centuries. The Byzantine Empire was down to a few chunks of land and a lot of unpaid bills. It was like an empire playing Monopoly, but someone already bought Boardwalk. And they were stuck on Baltic Avenue with one coin and a prayer. Enter Mehmed II. Young, brilliant, ruthless. It's the kind of guy who doesn't just want to take the city, he wants to be remembered for it. Enter Mehmed II. Young, brilliant, ruthless. It's the kind of guy who doesn't just want to take the city, he wants to be remembered for it. And so, he builds the biggest cannon Europe had ever seen. Seriously, this thing was like the medieval version of compensating for something. It could launch a 600-pound stone over a mile. The cannon had a name. Basilicand, yes. It was as dramatic as it sounds. Inside Constantinople, Emperor Constantine XI knew what was coming. But even the mightiest walls crumble when they haven't been maintained since your great-grandfather's time. And when you're getting pummeled by a super cannon daily, let's just say hope starts leaking through the cracks. The siege began in April and lasted 53 days. The defenders held on with legendary grit. There was blood. There were sneak attacks. There was even a guy named Giustiniani who became a sort of Italian action hero until he got injured and bailed, which unfortunately was when things really went south. Then came May 29th, the final assault. Chaos. Screams. The Ottomans swarmed in. Constantine XI, bless his imperial soul, threw off his royal garments and fought like a common soldier. He died sword in hand. No one ever found the body. A king vanishes in battle. Now that's poetic. And with that, the city fell. The Byzantine Empire, once the eastern half of Rome, keeper of classical knowledge, bastion of Orthodox Christianity, was gone. Kaput. Rebranded. Mehmed marched in and turned Hagia Sophia into a mosque. A new era had begun. Now here's the kicker. Constantinople didn't fall because of one cannon. It fell because empires rot from within long before the enemies show up at the gates. The Byzantines were brilliant, but divided, arrogant, broke. They spent centuries fighting each other more than their enemies. Sound familiar? So what do we learn from all this, dear viewers? Fortresses don't save you when you ignore the world changing around you. It's also pay your soldiers. Always pay your soldiers. Now, if you made it this far, congratulations. You've survived the fall of an empire. I dare say you've earned a seat at the round table. Drop a comment with your favorite last stand in history or just shout, "Long live Constantinople," to confuse the algorithm. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more history told properly, with sarcasm and swords. Until next time, this is King Arthur, signing off from the ruins of Empire.